Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So USDT burning is currently doing pretty well. There's a lot of coins being burned, but there's also a lot of coins to be burned, if that makes sense. There's a lot of these kind of people would deem as zombie wallets, ghost wallets, or contract-based wallets. There are a lot of them. I'm going to be going over them in this video. But for me, and I know I say this a lot recently, is the burning's really good. I'll admit it's good. Okay, I will be one of the last to admit it, but honestly, it's exit liquidity at best. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the chain itself doesn't actually prosper whatsoever in long form format. It just simply gets that one good burn, it gets the FOMO, it gets that one influx, everybody gets out. And then eventually what this is going to lead to is the death, I believe, of USDT, and a lot of your commissions are made up from USDT. So if you think this doesn't affect you, it affects you quite deeply. Even if you are kind of thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to have this new token plus the other token, it still leaves all of those people who didn't want to do that, who really believe in USDT, to see this thing out. So there's loads of different things going on. The mass media are now reporting on the joint L1 task force founded by Edward Kim disbands. They're explaining as to why, saying more or less what we've been saying. They've not been paid, they've been rejected, they've done a lot of maintenance and stuff like that. And once again, it's a very sad situation, but this is what happens. These are the chain of effects, I think, is a good way to put it. So let's keep moving forward, let's keep pushing forward, and let's crash through a few things here before we get over to the most interesting money flow. DK has avoided extradition. I think this is the third time now. What people need to understand is there's only a limit to how many times you can appeal something and how many times it can go back and forth. The ultimatum from this is he's wanted by the SEC. There's not a lot of places he can go. Now, he does have a ledger on him. And for me, Montenegro is very corrupt. You just don't know what's going on over there and the strange situation. I do believe he's going to the US and it's just a matter of time. Some of the stuff that I've been reading has more or less been going along the lines of how immature this is. Considering there's a case he's needed there, it just goes to show, if you look at the way CZ's handling his situation and then look at the way DK's handling his situation, who's got something to hide here? If you had nothing to hide, you've done nothing wrong, you just go head on into this thing. It's really as simple as that. So like I was saying, this is the third time he's avoided extradition to the United States. So we just have to see how this pans out. I definitely know he hasn't been released because you would have seen a tweet from him on Twitter. He can't help himself. If you don't know what DK's like, that's what he's like. He simply just can't help himself. So if you guys aren't using the LUNC Dash, get it on your home pages, save the address, use and utilize it. There's such great benefits to using this system. What we're going to be doing here in the remainder of this video is going over and looking at how strong these USDT burns are through the money flow. Now, the website is still crawling, which means it's still gathering data. I think it's about half a year behind, but the way that I've got things shown here gives us the ability to see where all of the USDT is kind of what I'm getting at here. The burning itself, like I said, let me quickly blip up that other screen. It's plowing along. All of the burns that I'm seeing are mostly USDT here on the right hand side. 995, 1,990, 28k there, almost 9k there. You're going to see this all coming from the same wallet because people are sending this to a contract wallet, and then the contract wallet handles the burning. It's all legit. I've double checked it. It's just definitely a siphoning situation where they're utilizing another coin, they're burning it, and they're gaining a user base more or less moving forward. So let's bring up money flow again before I get on a bit of a tandem here. So what I want to do is introduce you to money flow. If you don't know what money flow is, go check out my first ever videos here on the channel and you'll get to understand how powerful this tool is. It enabled me to figure out that Binance was burning. It enables a lot of good use cases for our cryptocurrency because you can follow everything. So what I've got here at the moment is the burn wallet itself, the burn module wallet, as you can see, ANXU. And then over here, I've actually got the Binance hot wallet. So if I just hover over this, I've got all of this filtered to USDT, by the way. It won't show anything for LUNC because of the filter. You can see that Binance has got almost 2.4 billion USDT just sat there. And the amount that's in all of these sort of different wallets, right? It's a very peculiar situation where there's so much. And when I say there's so much, there is just so much to burn through. So what I'm going to do quickly here, all of those that you just saw on the money flow, those are all USTC burns. They're all transactions to do with USTC going back and forth. We'll get onto that in a sec, but I just want to show you what the top holders situation is. So if we filter the USTC top holders over here on LUNC Dash in the top holders section, like I said, I can back this up once again. They've almost got 2.4 billion. The Lunar Foundation Guard's got almost 2 billion. I mean, this thing's redundant. This thing's absolutely redundant, and it's all under the TFL sort of banner of things. We've got the Oracle Rewards pool. As you know, this is where all of your USTC commission rewards come from. This is like escrow, similar to what happens with most chains that have token unlocks. We have token unlocks, and those happen through staking. So we've got a considerable amount just spread out, like I said, across so many different wallets. And a lot of these wallets, we know who they are. We've got them in our database. We've put the time, energy, and effort into logging all of these over a long period of time. And you've just got so much USTC to burn through. So I know a lot of people are very happy. They're very up about all of this USTC burning, but I think they need to understand the size, the severity, and just how big this situation is and how circumstantial it is to getting all of this burned and everything like that. For me, and I know a lot of people are like, reverse split, hell no, I get it. I've always been against it. But at this point, right, if you're following this path of doing this and putting the energy, time, and effort in, right, to more or less swap into another cryptocurrency, which will make USTC redundant, we may as well just have forked the chain and done a reverse split just for USTC and given it our utmost best shot, because the issue is you'd lose listings, lots of different things. You'd have to jump through a lot of hoops, but wouldn't it have been better to have done that, jumped through the hoops, and maybe, just maybe lost it instead of just conceding to defeat and simply going, well, you know, let them burn it, let them do it, let them launch their new coin? I think these are all very good questions that we should kind of ask ourselves. So let's go back over to money flow. And like I said, guys, this is a really good tool. It automatically separates all of the bridge wallets, any wallets that are used to go to and from certain points, more or less just to this point in this situation. You can see this. So as much as Binance have got a considerable amount of USTC, I just do believe there's something, not sinister, right? Because it's not a good word. I just think there's something weird, secretive going on there. And there's something big planned for during this big bull run time, right? And call me a tinfoil hat guy, call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever you want, right? These are good questions. Okay, if I said, well, I did say to everybody back when I started this channel, Binance is burning, 5% of you believed me, the other 95% thought I was absolutely crazy. And look where we are now. Binance burns every month. So I'm in this situation personally where I've witnessed history. I know how weird things can get, and crazier stuff's happened in crypto. Crazier stuff has happened. USTC just has no real kind of use anymore. So moving forward, right, as a blockchain, is everything lost because they're offering this? Absolutely not. If we had our own station, we could integrate into it and we could simply say to ourselves, let's make USTC classic. Let's fork the chain. Let's reverse split it. Just USTC, not LUNC. Let's just do it with USTC because we're going to lose it anyway, right? If we don't act now, we're going to lose it. The likelihood is this just takes over, it ensues, and more people do it. And eventually, hey, maybe Binance decide to turn their coins into ANC or Mint. And how would we feel about that, right? That would be horrible, seeing them do that and just simply exit our blockchain, us get nothing from it, and then enter another blockchain and push that project forward. Once again, all very good questions that we should be asking. So something very interesting at the moment, and a lot of people are asking me what is going on with the crypto market, Jay. Is this a bull trap? Is it going to dip? Is it going to dump? What's going to happen? I honestly believe we're due a big dump, and I think everybody should start to prepare themselves for that imminent event. You know how quickly it happens. You'll be out, you'll pop to the shops, you'll come back, and crypto's literally gone to hell within that matter of time. We all know how this cookie crumbles, and honestly, we're so early into the halving event. Like, we haven't even reached it. We're so euphoric. If anything, we're over euphoric. So I do think that there could be a fall to around $52,000. And what's happened is, let me bring up the BTC chart so I can kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. You've seen the first blip, right? So we've seen that second push up after the first push up, not managed to hit an all-time high again. And hey, we could come up, right? And we could punch a new all-time high. I get it, we could. But why I think this is the first scare event. And I think now this area here is a bull trap. I think we're in for it. And I think it's going to lull everybody in again. Everybody's going to ape in thinking, right, this is it. It's dips. Those dips got eaten very quickly. Let's go for it. But BTC's so big and there's so many big players in it. It just gets too much for them. The money, the gains, they know it's going to come back down. And I think this is just an eventuality that we cannot control. But ultimately, this is Schrodinger's cat, isn't it? If we put a cat and a radioactive substance in a box, we leave it, and we all say what's happened to the cat. None of us know until we've opened the box, and it's the same with this. We can say whatever we want, we can do whatever we want, and we can think whatever we want, but we just don't know what's going to happen. Guys, if you're not getting involved in the giveaway over on Patreon, consider it. If you're not using our trading indicator, consider it. The amount of people that are making insane gains on that is absolutely insane. During all of these times when there's those dips, it's giving you ideas where to get in. It's giving you ideas where to get out. It's 20% off now for life, but that is going to be ending soon. So get involved now or pay the higher price at a later date. If you've got LUNC, can delegate with us. We're available on Station and Trust Wallet. We've got tutorials and Autocompound available at hgcfactory.com. And the Patreon, there's alpha calls, guys. If you held on long enough, those alpha calls led to around 2000x. What I'm currently doing now is preparing all of the different alpha calls for when this big dip happens. I'm going to be putting out a meme wallet with all of those alpha calls in, and those will be available over on Patreon. Guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.